More day, just one more sleep. The NBA season is just about here, and I, for one, cannot wait. So welcome to NBA Today, presented by FanDuel Sportsbook. I'm Malika Andrews. We have a full house today. Richard Jefferson, Chiney Ogwumike, Mark Spears, Zach Lowe, and Kendrick Perkins. Richard, what was your favorite subject in school?
Recess.
On brand.
Yeah, I mean, I figured. PE?
PE and recess.
Lunch? Okay.
Yeah, PE, recess,
this
lunch.
will surprise none of you. Did you know Zach Lowe was actually an English teacher?
No,
Yeah.
history.
History teacher. He was a history
makes
teacher,
sense.
so I should get that right. But today I get to play English teacher because English was my favorite subject in school. So did you guys ever do this in English? The who, what, when, where, why
Yes.
exercise. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Richard was at recess. So we're going to do that now to start the NBA season. So how this is going to work, I'd like each of you to please take a category, and we are going to start with, I love that I have a whiteboard for this. This makes me happy. Chiney Ogwumike,
Yes.
the who of the NBA season.
So who is going to win MVP this year? I feel like every time a new season starts, it's an open slate for someone to start strong and insert themselves into the conversation. And if you look at the odds, do you know who's number one in the odds? Who? Luka Doncic. Luka Doncic, number one. Giannis, 2 for MVP winner. And then 3 Embiid. If you think about that big 3, it's going to be fascinating because the Mavs, if they can pick up where they finished the season, mind you, that's the Western Conference Finals, Luka Doncic can absolutely be MVP. And everyone knows his talent deserves that. The question is, will his team propel him into that position? Because typically, apart from Jokic, top 1 or 2 in your conference wins MVP. Now we move to Giannis. I mean, like, y'all, we all know Giannis can win an MVP as well. But the question is, when he becomes 3-time MVP, what does that put him in the category of? Like Dr. J, like, how do we feel about people transitioning into the greatness of the top 3 or so, 3-time winners, 4-time winners, 5-time winners? And lastly, Embiid. Joel Embiid, I mean, it's almost like he's always been the runner-up the last few years, and it's almost feels like it's his time. The more healthy he gets, the better that the Sixers get. You feel like his chances improve. So those are the big 3 per the odds. I'm not sure who I'm siding with just yet, but I'm excited to see who will be MVP.
So that's the who of the season as we head towards tomorrow.
All the top players.
What are you talking about? Okay,
that.
well,
And didn't make a pick.
Yeah, that's what I said. And didn't say anybody.
On brand.
That's, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, this is
On brand.
we're starting exactly where we left off.
Exactly.
So that brings us to it's who, what. Richard Jefferson, what's the what of the NBA season?
The what? Wow, you guys sprung this on me. I wasn't good at pop quizzes. What? What? Thank you, Greg. What will teams do to get Victor Wembanyama? Yeah, that's going to be a fun watch because it's going to start pretty much now. You saw teams trading away players during the summer. You saw teams, you've seen what happened in Utah. You've seen what happened in San Antonio. All of these teams are preparing for a very, very subpar season, to say the least. But I'm very, very curious to watch it as this progressions. As the season, if a team doesn't play well, their star player gets injured, they're going to just ship everything out of there and make sure that they're in that bottom 4.
You know how we always have monikers for, like, tanking? The one we decided last week was losing club for V-Dub. It's hard to do Wembanyama. Drama for
I'm thumbs down on that.
Thumbs down?
Thumbs down on
You
that.
don't like losing
I
club
like
for V-Dub?
I like
No.
Well, now you know what the rule is. Now you're gonna have to come up
I'm
with
not doing it on live television.
No, we'll let you have it. You're here all week.
V-Dub, right?
We'll let you come up with it. All right, Mr. Mark Spears.
Yes,
then
ma'am.
the next one is the where. Where? What where question do we have for the NBA season?
Where will the Suns be?
Oh,
Son.
That's a really good question. I was there at Media Day, and people gave me some heat for being really sad. It was a sad place. But things have gotten better. Like the dust is settling on Sarver, right? Monty Williams and DeAndre Ayton, they're in a good place now. What's the problem with the Suns? Why do I think they'll be 4th or 5th? The bench. You take Jay Crowder away, right? And you put Cam Johnson in the starting lineup. There's no more JaVale McGee. What is their bench? So what Monty's going to do now is he's going to have to keep at least probably 2 starters on the floor at all times, when last season he could do 1 at a time. Their bench is pretty weak. We'll see what happens after Jay gets traded. But right now, I'm really nervous for the Suns starters because they're going to have to push up their minutes for them to rise.
interesting. Okay, so now that brings us to the history teacher among us. The why, Zach Lowe?
You gave me the heavy one. Like, why? Why are we even here?
It's very existential.
Why are we throwing a ball?
Oh, nihilistic already. I love it.
Why? Why can't this be the year that the cursed second sisters of the NBA, the Brooklyn Nets and the Los Angeles Clippers, finally break the curse. Every time it feels like something good is going to happen to one of these teams. Somebody gets injured. A sinkhole opens in the earth. Someone else gets injured. Someone demands a trade. Another person demands a trade. Why can't this be the year? In Brooklyn, we all know why it's like everything, the whole thing that's happened there. Will they run for the exits at the first sign of adversity? Can they defend anybody in their small lineups? With the Clippers, this big two plus a whole lot of depth model is really unusual in the NBA. And when it works, it's usually because the big two are two like of the top 8 or 10 guys in the NBA. Kawhi's coming off a year off. Paul George has been injured a lot. Are those guys still at that level? And then who is the third and fourth guys? Who really pops so it's not just those two guys and a bunch of pretty good players? Is that enough? But this year, it's going to happen once for one of these teams. Is this going to be the year? Why not, I say?
Why not, you say? Well, let's see what Professor Perkins says. I want to bring Big Perk in here for the when, Big Perk. When?
Well, when is the month of never worry, okay? Never worry. They will never figure it out. That's when. And let me explain why, okay? And I'm talking about the Lakers, okay? The Lakers will never figure it out when it comes down to the Russell Westbrook situation, whether that's bringing him in off the bench or whatever the case may be. I had a weekend to think about the Lakers after they got smacked in their last preseason game by the Sacramento Kings. And I understand it's preseason, but to get the spanking that they got, Russell Westbrook went out due to a hamstring injury. It's time to address the elephant in the room, okay? And the elephant in the room is that it's just not going to work with Russ, okay? I think the relationship is pretty much over. Darvin Ham is trying his best, but at the end of the day, I think this Laker roster, the way that it is currently constructed, and I love the Patrick Beverly addition, but Russell Westbrook is not going to be in full acceptance of this six-man role for us with the Lakers. He wasn't brought here to embrace that. He's getting paid a lot of money. So I don't think it's never going to happen. And I think Rob Pelinka needs to make sure that while he still has time before it gets too late in the season, that he needs to readjust this roster a little bit more and probably get Russ up out of there, to be honest with you.
I couldn't agree with you more, Perk.
Oh, really?
That's it. Okay, well, look, now that the substitute teacher is here, we've done all of the questions. I have one for Miss Laker fan over here.
Wow.
Whoa.
How?
Is this because I'm wearing yellow?
Yeah,
is that where that?
I know
the
Warriors are yellow too. Just take the shot.
Okay. Well,
how?
if I am taking how, the how question has to be how are the Warriors paying everybody?
Hey, what's up, guys? Jag from Jaggy Sports here. It is October 17th, 2022. Thank you for everyone that supported me and subscribed to my channel. I've reached 1,000. That is a milestone. I have other goals as well, but thank you very much for everyone for doing that. And tomorrow is October 18th, 2022. October 18th is the first day of the NBA regular season. I have been waiting, just like you guys, for this day for a long time, right? It's been a long off season, a lot of drama, a lot of trades, a lot of free agency signings, but we got 2 games in the NBA tomorrow, right? We got Golden State Warriors, opening night, ring ceremony, taking on the Lakers, and we have the 76ers taking on the Celtics. I already know who's going to win those games, you know. That's just me. I'm pretty sure everybody else knows who's going to win those games. But I want to hear from you guys. You guys saw the clip, and people have their opinions and thoughts as to who is going to overtake the Warriors or who is going to play versus the Warriors in the finals, in the conference finals. Who knows? It might not even be the Warriors, right? We have no idea, right? But I want to hear from you guys. Leave a comment in the comment section. Tell me who you think this is going to be, right? So I'm going to tell you my top picks in the West and in the East, right? So I have in the West, I have the Warriors facing the Clippers in the Western Conference Finals. I know a lot of people might disagree with me, and I'd love to hear your guys' opinions, and I like to hear who you think is going to be in the Western Conference Finals, right? And just leave your team in the comment section, whether it be the Dallas Mavericks, whether it be Denver Nuggets, the Lakers, the Clippers, the Warriors, the Suns. I could go on. T-Wolves, Pelicans. Pelicans look good. Zion is playing on Wednesday, so I guess he's better. No, it's a free-for-all. Like, it's the Wild Wild West for a reason. Now let's jump over to the East, right? The Eastern Conference Finals, I know it comes with a lot of drama, but you cannot deny the fact that they are super talented. And I'm talking about the Nets. The Nets are phenomenally talented. They have two of the elite scorers in the NBA, as in Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, right? I heard that Kyrie Irving has been very outstanding in the training camp, right? Obviously, because he wants to get paid. It's his contract year. So he has been doing phenomenally well. And to top it off, Ben Simmons is actually looking good. I know he's still afraid to take a shot, but his defense and his passing ability is right up there. Right, so I got the Nets, and then this is a bit of a tie, if you want to call it. You got the 76ers right up there, right? Then you got the Celtics. Then you got the Miami Heat. I know I'm missing a couple teams here and there, but like I said, leave a comment in the comment section. And to be honest, I think it's Philly is going to be in Philadelphia 76ers are going to be in the Eastern Conference Finals. Joel Embiid, it's his time to be MVP, right? Joker can't win it 3 years in a row. He cannot win it 3 years in a row. And it's just Embiid's time. Not only Embiid, you got one hell of a roster now, and to be honest, that roster from last year is much better than this roster. This roster of this year is better than last year, right? And they have had a whole training camp to actually get to know each other, get to know the chemistry, and it's pretty phenomenal how deep that roster is, because we got Joel Embiid, James Harden, Tyrese Maxey, who's on the come up. I keep telling you guys this. Then you got Tobias Harris, Shake Milton, and I forget what that guy's name is. Tybus, I think it is. I can't remember what his name was, but PJ Tucker. Then you got Montrezl Harrell. It's a pretty deep roster. And if I'm Doc Rivers, this guy is phenomenal in the regular season, but he's got to pick it up in the playoffs. I'm guaranteed they're going to make the playoffs, but it is what it is. And to be honest, you got Philadelphia, the Phillies, the Eagles that won last night against the Cowboys, and it could be the 76ers. It could be all year long Philadelphia, right? You never know. Then you got Miami Heat. Miami Heat, never count out the Heat. Never count out Jimmy Butler. Never count out Pat Riley. And then you have, Boston Celtics. They looked phenomenal last year. I know they're missing Ime Udoka. Sorry, I just keep butchering the names today. But you have him, and basically he's gone, but the roster is still there. So they are still a legit roster. Even though they don't have the the strategy of the coach, but you know, they're with a rookie coach right now, but you never know, right? So at the end of the day, it's a free-for-all. Tell me what you guys think. Who is going to be in the Western Conference Finals? Who's going to be in the Eastern Conference Finals? Who is actually going to do some damage this year? And who's going to win the championship? Who's going to be in the finals? Leave a comment in the comment section. This is Jag from Jaggy Sports.